following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Hey, yo!
Hump day!
What a weird day.
Hump day.
What a weird day today.
Why you say that?
Because it's Wednesday and it's 2 o'clock and we're not supposed to be on today. But we haven't been on in a week and a half, so we have to give the people what they want.
Your schedule's too busy for us.
Not true. Not true. Kurt's trying to get his headphones together.
I'm having headphones
Talking about
issue.
my schedule's too busy for us. You're the one that disappeared for a month.
Who changed the schedule?
Who went out of town for 2 weeks in a row?
You.
You.
We changed the schedule because of you.
You were
in Mexico. You were in Mexico.
Didn't change the schedule because of me. Y'all, the show went on because of that.
You were in Mexico.
You weren't.
Then
here.
the very next week, we were supposed to do a show on Monday, right? We were all in agreement on Monday. I even booked my flight for later on in the day on Monday.
Kurt changed that.
Oh.
I did?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't remember.
I shouldn't change
Wasn't my fault. How are y'all? How are y'all today?
I'm good.
Are y'all
man.
good?
Yeah, I'm good. So
Jesse
is we going to do this show or we going to discuss doing
I
why
don't know.
we didn't do other shows?
We'll do whatever we want. That's what we
Yeah.
do on this show. Jesse got his Carolina blue on today, looking good.
Then we need all the help we can get right now.
Yeah, what's going on there?
Listen, you know how it happens every now and again, man. You know, we just.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is now, take your shots now.
Yeah.
Get them in now.
Before the tournament starts?
No, we're not making a tournament. No, we're not making a tournament.
No.
But next year.
NIT? Make the NIT?
Yeah, NIT, which is,
Who cares?
yeah, it stands for not in tournament. So nobody really cares about the NIT. But next year,
Next year?
4 McDonald All-Americans.
You feel good?
Oh, really good.
Okay.
And they let me come back and do, I did Late Night with Roy in 2017, won a national championship. I haven't been back to do Late Night with Roy since. We haven't won a national
It
championship.
all ties together.
I'm just saying.
You need an invite's what you're saying.
I'm just saying, invite me to host Late Night with Roy again. It might change your fortune.
How often do you go up there? Back up
To see a game?
there? Yeah.
Once a year.
Oh, you go once a year?
Yeah.
Kurt, how you feeling? You a little under the weather this week?
had battled the flu over the weekend, but
Wow.
feeling better now.
Yeah. Use that Lysol.
Yeah, you're right. I'll do that after we're done, so the next person up isn't.
All right. Nate, how you doing? You good?
I'm doing great, man. I called Shannon this weekend. You know, he was having Mardi Gras in his little town, so him and his mom, I talked to his mom for the first time, and she's healthy and doing good, and I had a good weekend.
How was it, Mardi Gras?
That was all right. I mean, it's for West Monroe. It's the same thing every year. Compared to New Orleans, there's no comparison. But
it ain't a new. It was great.
It was great.
Great. Don't. It was all right. It was great.
It was great.
A guy gives him a big area behind a warehouse, and the pictures he signed and talking to his mom. They were having a fabulous time. Music was playing. So stop with that. Don't compare.
It was
See,
great.
that's the problem we do. We try to compare to the original. We can't do that because that's mega. Y'all was in y'all own world. It was mega where y'all was.
It was good. Thanks.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kenny for he owns a poultry packing plant.
Lord, jeez.
And what?
My head was like huge, like yours.
Like mine?
Yeah. Like wow. Whoa.
Look at that.
Wow, that's a head and a half.
So he gives us the parking lot. He hires a band. He cooks food. They cooked a whole pig. Everybody brings stuff. Patty plays music all day. Drink in the parking lot.
He's too fat.
Walk over to the parade route a block away. Walk back, and it's an all day deal. It's fun.
It was man. They sounded
good time.
excited when I was on the phone with them.
It was
Everybody
fun.
drunk.
Oh, 100%. I don't know if I wasn't yet
Ain't
at
no
that
probably
time,
about it.
but I did get there. Oh, and by the way, Nate comes through the lunchroom today. Were you down there?
No.
He comes through and he didn't see me because I had my back to him.
Yeah.
And he walks all the way across the lunchroom and he gets to the other side and he sees Skip Peete, which used to be the running backs coach.
That's my guy.
Used to be.
Is your guy? Yeah, he is now. He's back after Gary Brown's left. And he yells. What did you yell?
Skip Peete! What's up?
The whole lunchroom, dead silence. I mean, like, it was like,
Skip just looked at me and backed up and walked away. I'll get with you later. Yeah, I bet you will.
I have never heard anything. Like, it was like the school cafeteria when somebody, like, drops a plate or something and just gets real quiet. Dead silence for, like, 3 seconds. And then everybody started talking again, and I was like, oh, Lord.
Yes, sir. Once a year, man. I got to give it up.
Once a year?
Once a year.
And what have we missed here? I mean, in the last few weeks of not doing shows, we're truly behind. We haven't talked to the fans. We haven't talked to Shannon's mother. We don't know how they feel about the coaching staff. What?
Hey, Kyle, do you want to take phone calls or do you want to do Twitter?
Which one, Kyle?
We can do both.
Do we have
Because
enough
I'm
time
good
to
at
do both?
everything. So
You're good at everything. Okay. Well,
Wow.
let us know.
now you guys choose. You could we could do Twitter or we
Yeah,
could do.
because, I mean, we've got new coaches. We've let go coaches. And the fans haven't weighed in. We haven't heard from your mother since I don't know when.
We'll call her today. I brought y'all cinnamon rolls, by the way, but Jesse can't eat them because he's watching his figure.
Cinnamon rolls.
Yes.
You on the keto diet?
Keto.
Not going to cheat for
Probably keto.
cheat a little bit.
Probably keto Monday.
So what he played? He played in the Green Hornet? Oh, that was Cato. I'm sorry.
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, but before we get to football talk, hold your little picture up there. This is a cool picture. Jonathan, our archivist that was on the show not too long ago, you got to hold it that way. That way. Look at that. Nate, small Nate. No, look at it. Doesn't even have a gut. Riding bikes with Coach Landry. When was that?
That's when I probably second year there.
Yeah.
You know?
Wichita Falls?
Yeah, no, we in
Thousand Oaks.
Thousand Oaks, California, baby.
That's such a cool picture.
Man. And I'm gonna tell you, this is the funny thing about it. Notice I got on sweatpants.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like in the morning practice. Man, it'll be sometime like 60 degrees. You know, you like you got to weigh in the next day. So I'm like, man,
Trying to sweat it out, huh?
yeah, man.
That's a cool picture. All right, so let's talk about. Got a lot to talk about today. We can
Cool.
talk about Dak. We can talk about Amari supposedly getting shot.
God, that was crazy, huh?
Wasn't that-
Getting what?
Yeah, it came out on Twitter. Some fake
Some
account
idiot
broke news that Amari Cooper had been shot.
in a parking garage.
Yeah, during Hellman and them show. So Twitter's all
Blows
a
up.
fuss, and Amari wound up getting on Instagram story and saying it wasn't true, and the Dallas PD chimed in and said there had been no shootings reported, and and then now I heard that the account that broke it has been deleted. So
The whole account. I knew the tweet had been deleted and the actual account.
I heard the account did. I'm not real sure on that, so don't quote me. But okay, let's jump in. First things first. Last night, Jason Witten had the Jason Witten, Collegiate Man of the Year award ceremony that they started here. Was it last year, Kurt?
Yeah, I
First
think
year they
so.
had it. I think they
so.
had it. It's an annual thing. And he had some comments afterwards that said he would like to play, and wasn't whether it was here or not.
He wants to play here,
But
but
he wants to play
he
more.
recognizes that it may not be here.
So what are you? I think I know what everyone's thoughts are, but let's say them out loud. Kurt, you go first. What are your thoughts on Jason Witten returning to the team?
I wish him Hall of Fame induction will be in 5 years from.
Instead of 6 or 7?
Yeah. No, I
Pass.
pass. It's time to love Jason Witten, but it's just they got to get younger. They got to move on.
Yeah. Nate,
Ditto to what he said.
Jesse, I know you're going to have a few more words than that to say, so the floor is yours.
Okay, so thank you guys for giving me the floor because you guys know I'm going to say
It's
something.
been a while since you've talked.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
So here's my first question.
Okay.
Why is it that Jason Witten gets the ability and opportunity to say when and where he wants to play? Like move. You shouldn't. I want to play again. So we should all succumb to what you want.
Well, we may not. That's the thing. He
But,
thinks it.
But the fact of the matter that he thinks that he still has that ability to say, well, I still want to play here. No, you're done. Like, it's time for you to move on. We scream and we make jokes and we say things about when Des Bryant says, I want to come back, and he's, Des, you sound desperate. We don't say that about Jason Witten.
Yeah.
When Des says, I want to come back and play for the Cowboys, I want to get back in the game, I want to play, it's you sound desperate, stop it, you don't have it, right? We hear all those things. Des is washed up, you're 31 years old, you can't do this, you can't do that. But when Jason Witten says, well, I want to come back and play for the Cowboys. Oh, well, let's, can you take a little bit less? We'd love to have you, this and that and the third. No, he's even more washed than what you think Des is. If you're looking at those two players and you're saying which one of the two is closer to their prime, it's Des Bryant by far. But yet we kick his back in when he tries to. Now I've been an equal opportunist back kicker. Okay, I don't want Des back, and I ain't want Jason back for a long time. So I'm not saying give me one and not the other. I'm saying both of you continue on the path of your journeys elsewhere. The door here should be closed. And this goes back to the whole thing with the Jones family and the relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And, even
the loyalty.
The loyalty that sometimes to a fault.
Right.
And even last year, there's been kind of rumors or stories coming out that some of the people wanted to go on and have Blake Jarwin in the mix more often. Yeah. Nussmeier wanted to have Blake Jarwin in the mix more often. But because of the relationship that Jason Witten had with the head coach, it was a lot of, no, leave 82 out there. And that's just not how it should be. It's, again, love Jason Witten as a man, love them as a teammate, love them as a player. You are gold jacket personified. It is coming without a shadow of a doubt. Stop prolonging the inevitable. Go get your jacket.
Isn't that hard for a lot of? I mean, most players don't see the end. Think they can go farther than they can.
No, players always the last one to know that you still don't have it.
Yeah.
We're always the last one to know. Because in our mind, we're just thinking like, man, if I just can do this, I can be in there. Or if I can just do this, I can be in. We're always the last ones to know it. And those of Jason Witten's ilk get a little bit more opportunity to kind of let his mental be strung on a little bit more.
Let me ask y'all this, because I think we're all in the same boat. And I honestly, for the first time, I think the majority, if not all of the fans, are kind of thinking that same thing. If he came back, which I don't think he would come back in this way, if he came back as a backup, 30% of the snaps behind
like he
Jarwin.
was going to this year.
Right, but I mean, if it was said, no, you are not playing, here's what you're doing, I would take him over Schultz right now, wouldn't you? Or would you not?
No.
Would you bring in another young guy to develop him behind him and not let him take those reps? Like, what do y'all think about that?
You know what's amazing?
What's amazing, Nate?
Is I thank God for Coach Landry and Coach Jimmy Johnson. And the fact that these guys and the coaches of Purcell's ilk, that they're going to demand so much of you when you are able to play and in your prime to you may not want to stop playing when you get a little older and slower, but you can't play no more. That is the difference. When you've been through the fire and have been fortunate enough to take advantage of when you've had great teams and given it your all, you won't have to keep hanging on. Troy Aikman knew he felt he had more in him, but you know what? It all was just talk. He just stayed retired. But when you missed opportunities because you couldn't enforce your will at the time when you had the teams, that's your opportunity. Now it's a different era, a different regime, and a different attitude. And if you can't come in and see where you fit in and help others prosper, what good are you? That's the only reason I say I would keep Sean Lee. because he'll play 25% of the snaps or less, much less, and he'll be an asset to your young guys, ones that are willing to learn how to be professionals. See, people say, well, just do what Witten do. That don't make no sense. Because his knowledge is here.
And that's how he leads, though. See, that's the biggest and I'm not here to kick Jason's back in, but that's the biggest misconception when it comes down to Jason Witten about his coaching ability and his great leadership. His great leadership isn't in the verbal aspect of it. His is showing you how to show up and get it done every single day. But in that, you don't get a chance to work because he's always working. There's never been an opportunity where guys get a chance to get reps. And it's not like he's giving up reps for you. He's not. That's the thing that people are missing.
J.J. Burrell. J.J. Burrell. Y'all know him, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
World champion, Dallas Maverick. Can still play at a good level. But coach told him, Coach said, hey, man, I need you on the squad. But we got a young guy here that plays our second-team guard that I need to be developed. I know you're not going to like it, but you got to sit on the bench, and I'm going to use you very rare. But help this kid. Jason got so much to give up here.
Mm-hmm.
You got to give that. You just can't go out and, lift weights and run routes and, hey, this is how you do it. You got to share.
And a small part of me thinks Jason Witten is and was afraid of what he saw in retirement. Because when he went, you got to understand this. Jason Witten has been a football junkie his whole life. He's been really good at it for a very long time. Hall of Fame worthy. Then all of a sudden it came to a halt. And then he went and tried his hand in the broadcasting business where he was bad.
Yeah,
it's the first time in a long time.
He's been bad at something.
He's been bad at something.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes when these guys, they revert back to what they know well. For him, it's football. He knows that in the grand scheme of things, when I put that helmet on, no matter what helmet it is going forward, that I will be regarded as one of the greatest. That I know how to run a Y option. I know how to run a Y stick. I know that like I know my first and last name. And when guys don't know how to get away from it and do something else, that is the biggest thing. When guys have had these long careers, what's next? And when you walk away and you can't find something that you're good at, you always try to backpedal into that thing that gave you that glory. And I think when he stepped into the booth and people started saying, boo, and you suck, and turn off the game because I don't want to hear Witten, that was a shock. It's the first time in a long time, in 20-something years, that he's heard that I'm not good at this. That's a tough place to be.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, see, this is where I wish I could have rapped with him before he made that decision. Because all Jason had to do was relax and be himself. You weren't in competition with nobody. You were still the gold standard. ESPN, Monday Night Football, you still the gold standard. And I wish because y'all know about no way that I have proper English, structure of sentences and paragraphs. But one thing you have to be is you try to get better in your pronunciation and your word and your thoughts, and you let it flow. And the mistakes will happen, but you keep going. Jason Witten could have been good at that, but like you say, he kind of feared it a little bit, and he just didn't have the right people in his corner. Because I wish I could have said something to him.
When did you know it was time to walk away? Because you left here and went to Carolina for 2 years,
brother. When the Dallas Cowboys cut me, I'm serious. They did it at the right time, bro. Switzer was talking. He talked to me a year before Chan Gailey came in. He said, boy, he said you still can run block pretty decent, but you ain't got it like you used to. Now, he told me, I said, thank you, Coach Wilson. Then played for Chan Gaylor a year, then they cut me. And then when I went up to the Carolina Panthers, I like, man, I coached, well, I ain't got much. That well, just come in and go along with what we say. So I said, okay, I'll be a cheerleader, because that's all I was. I didn't have no more. I gave all I had to the game on and off the field. So, and then I've been blessed with the Joneses. To give me an opportunity with the other, can't say it out here, but with the other radio station, I've been blessed, and they allowed me to be me. And this is one thing I believe as a Cowboy. Yes, Jason Witten was on the biggest stage, but they were willing to do everything in their power to make sure he had opportunity to do it well. So I wish I could have taught him, but man. No, I knew, bro. That's why I laugh with people. Like, Jesse, you knew. You're like, man, I know I ain't going to be doing this too long, so you prepared. You know you may want to go out there and still try, but if you gave it all you had, especially when you are on good teams, Jason Witten have been on 3 or 4 good teams. And that's when you have to stand up and not let that thing go. Michael Irvin has done it for us. Troy Aikman at different times. When we've been in good games where a division game is being decided, I've seen Troy stand up. I've seen Mike stand up. I've seen Emmett put his 2 cents in. The key players do not let you lose those games. They put them games on their back, and they make sure you get over that hump.
But did you guys know what you were going to do next, though? I think Jason knows now he's going to coach, which is probably what he should have done anyway to begin with. But did you know in 1999 what you were going to do next?
I did not.
You did?
No, I didn't. I was just going to have fun, chill, find a job somewhere in due time. But things just came at me in the right way. One thing I tell young people is you can go to school, you can get your degree, you can prepare yourself, but life has a funny way of saying, I know you went to be a marine biologist, but this job over here is open with IBM, and we want you to come in and learn these computers, and we're going to start you out as a manager. Well, you waiting on the marine biology job and passing up this $100,000 job over here, you can't do that. You jump into that, keeping your doors open for marine biology, because if it don't come, now all of a sudden you the vice president of IBM because people know who you are and what you got inside of you.
Yeah, but also, like, I walked into Carolina. I went to Carolina knowing exactly what I wanted to do. I went in and got a degree in communications.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
I could have got a degree in exercise sports science or
kinesiology
or African American studies. I knew exactly. I'm like, listen, my goal is to go to the league.
Yeah.
But I knew, 1, the chances of going to the league, 2, the long, we all want to have a 10, 15-year career and break the bank and all that kind of stuff. But I'm like, if it happens, great. I'll just be really rich with a communications degree.
But
or if it doesn't happen, I'll set myself up in a position. I knew that once I got to a city that I would be able to rub shoulders with the right people. So I wanted to make sure that all my ducks were in a row so that when I got there, those other things weren't hindering me from taking that next step. So I came into the thing prepared, like, I know this ain't going to last for long.
Let me say, and I will agree. You got your degree in communications. But the route you had to go. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, oh yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. The marine biologist, I'm not saying you can't be that because that's what you went and got your degree in.
It just doesn't always work out where you go straight into that. Yeah.
And even if you go around through IBM, you can be putting your ducks in a row to still get back to this. Mm-hmm. What I'm trying to say is simply this right here. Whether you prepared or not, when opportunity arises, don't be scared of it. You got to embrace it. I mean, if somebody would have told me, hey, Nate, you can be doing radio. Not me. Not Nate. You can be doing some TV, some podcasts. No, man, in a million. But you know what? I went home one day and I was telling my wife, I said, you know what? Ain't nothing else being offered to me but this. I'm jumping on this. I'm going to watch others. I'm going to learn. I'm going to read. I'm going to do what I can so I can be his best. And then, most of all, people that I work with say, hey, man, don't get away from you now. I see you over here trying to be Mr. Proper and Righteous, but we want Nate. So we want Jesse, and if I'm not mistaken, Jesse didn't start out in communications. Jesse started out being a mall cop. So
no, that came after the degree. I had a degree by
that's
then.
what I'm saying. You got your degree.
Right.
I'm not saying Jason Witten got his degree. Prepare yourself for what you plan to be, but we don't know what life.
No, you're right. No,
how we gonna get there? Yeah. You got here, and you striving for even more.
Yeah.
So
I just gotta stop getting fired. Yes.
You gotta slow that down at some point.
That firing thing is
stop.
That firing thing takes me 2 steps back. To
stop.
Hey, it's a new year and a
guys
new
are getting
season.
jobs now. They got changing shifts and all that. I could have been in the mix. I got fired. I couldn't even be in the mix.
It's a new year. It's a new year, Jesse.
Yeah.
That's our one job this year, to keep you from losing a job.
A job.
You can have as many as you want. We're gonna keep you from losing a job. None of them.
Where do we go now, Shannon?
We're gonna take a break. Ray, hang in there, because we have Ray from New Orleans that we have not talked to in forever. We're gonna check in and see how Mardi Gras is kicking off down there. When we come back on Hanging with the Boys.
The Cowboys way, where Thanksgiving means spending the day with 100,000 of your closest family and friends to watch the game live. Where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships show us what success looks like. Where we're all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans have the power to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America.
Copyright 2019, Bank of America Corporation.
So, you're shopping, and that's when you see it. Aisle 23. Dr. Pepper stacked from top to bottom as far as the eye can see. The phrase too good to be true comes to mind, yet there it is. A rich, delicious Dr. Pepper paradise. Wait, did that can of Dr. Pepper just open itself for you? They all are. As if to say, so nice to treat you. And even though it feels weird to talk to a can, you pick one up and say, it's so nice to be treated. Dr. Pepper. So nice to treat you.
Your new apartment's big. Such a great deal.
It's okay.
Just okay? What's not to...
It's right above the subway!
Well, I bet you don't even notice it after the...
That's my neighbor, Angus.
A deal that's just okay is not okay. Get a great deal with America's Best Network. Come into an AT&T store to find out how to get one of our popular smartphones for $0 down, based on GWS One score September 2019.
Since 1865, Stetson hats are American-made with pride right here in Texas. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Want to show your Texas and team pride too? You can. By purchasing your own Stetson, you can look just like how the flag guys do on field at every home game. Stetson hats, the official crown of all self-respecting Cowboys and your favorite football team. Get yours today in the Stadium Pro Shop or at Stetson.com.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
We are back, and I have a live read somewhere in my email that I am pulling up and going to talk about. Y'all want to talk about Supercross, Monster Jam, or boxing?
Oh, boxing.
Boxing. Mikey Garcia and Jesse Vargas will clash in a welterweight boxing blockbuster at Ford Center at the Star in Frisco. That's right here. Saturday, February the 29th. Is there a 29th in February this year?
There is.
There is?
Mm-hmm.
Leap year, right?
There you go. Extend that Black History Month one more day, baby. Let's go.
Tickets are on sale now at SeatGeek.com. Speaking of boxing, that's a big one coming up this weekend, man. Y'all go watch?
I am.
I am too.
Fury and...
Wilder.
Yeah.
I didn't see the first one. You gonna watch, Nate?
Yeah, about 2 weeks later on ABC Sports.
You'll wait and get the replay?
Yeah.
Who you think's gonna win, Jesse?
Wilder.
I do too.
Can I tell you a funny story? I'll tell you a funny story about Wilder. Didn't he have a fight here last year?
I don't know.
No. Spence fought here last year, and he came to see Spence fight.
Oh, okay.
So after the fight, a friend of mine is a DJ.
Mm-hmm.
So he's DJing at the club. He's like, man, come out. My best friend comes in town. I'm not a clubber. I go home. My best friend's like, man, come on, bro. Like, let's go out. So I said, okay, cool. Make a phone call. We go. So we're in the section. It's Jalen Smith's over there. I mean, it's a bunch of guys in there.
Mm-hmm.
So after everyone is gone, it's me, it's Wilder, it's a couple other guys, and they're all taking pictures. But I'm sitting there eating food. I'm eating some wings, right? You know how guys, I love that. The fat kid inside of me. So my homeboy is like, hey, come on, let's take a picture with with Wilder. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. No, thank you. Go ahead, take a picture with him. I don't want to. It's not my thing.
Right.
So he overhears the conversation. So he's like, what the F, man? You don't want to take a picture with me? I'm like, nah, it's nothing like that. I'm just, you took 100 pictures tonight. I don't want another one with you. I'm okay. He's like, so you too good for a picture with me? So I'm like, no, I just don't want, you've been taking pictures all night long. Chill, relax. He goes, nah, man, I think that's really effed up that you don't want to take a picture with me.
What?
Wow.
So he's like, man, you got two options. This is, I swear to you. He said, you got two options. He said, you could fight me or you can get in this picture.
Oh, man.
So
I'm still sitting. I wiped my hands clean and I smiled.
Yeah.
And I smiled. I stood right next to him. I'll show you the picture.
How tall is he? He's like 6'6",
Yeah, he's tall.
6'7"?
Like I'm 6'3",
Man,
and
this
he
dude got some haymakers. Bro.
Yeah.
Dude, he's rangy too. Like those are two lanky heavyweights. Like most heavyweights are thick. They're
I don't know anymore. Them guys are tall and big, aren't
man, it's gonna be a
threatened by a heavyweight. Well, it doesn't happen to everybody.
No.
I like that though. Way to jump in there, Jesse. All right, I have a question for you guys. This is via Kurt, but I'm gonna put my spin on it.
Sure.
So Dak is obviously the number one priority right now for them to sign. Or is he? And we had an awesome debate upstairs on what would you do? What would you give up to go get Joe Burrow? Because he's is probably as close to a surefire thing since Andrew Luck, maybe, that's come out of the draft. Most guys are 50-50, 60-40, maybe 70-30. This guy's probably, 95-5 that he's going to be successful. So we started going down that road, and Jonathan Alping, that now writes for the website, he threw something out there, and I wanted to get y'all's opinion on it. You know the defense needs help, right? But you obviously aren't going to be able to keep all your defensive pieces. Byron Jones, Robert Quinn, you got injuries over there. Mm-hmm. Would you just say, you know what, we can get by with a top 15 defense if our offense is putting up enough points, and just go all in on offense and either sign Dak to whatever he wants, go all in and go get Joe Burrow or somebody else, sign Amari, get another stud receiver. You already got the running back. You got the offensive line intact right now. Is that a strategy? Is that even – and just say, you know what, we'll take our chances with the defense and piece it together like they did, 6 years ago when they were getting George Selvey off the couch and this guy off the couch and did a pretty good job? Or do you have to go fill holes on the defense to have any kind of shot? Nate's rubbing his head.
I remember them. I remember. So it might even been the 8 and 8 years. I can't remember the stats in the years for sure, but they had a pretty good offense and the defense sucked. And I remember people saying, "Man, if we just had an average offense, we'd be in the playoffs. We'd be in." You know, they didn't.
Right, and you can't sign everybody. So do you just go all in on one side of the ball?
I'm saying that didn't work then. So I don't. Once you get into
flipping it the other way is not.
Once you get into the playoffs, you can't have an average defense. I don't think.
We've been so scarred by bad coaching for the last 10 years that we begin to trick ourselves into thinking that we have to have this outrageous, spectacular, all-world, everyone has to be first-round type players on our teams to be successful. And that's so not the truth. Yes, do you need players in the National Football League? Absolutely. And it starts with QB1 position. You need a good quarterback in the National Football League to compete and most definitely to win football games and to make yourself a serious Super Bowl contender. But that's not how rosters are built. Rosters aren't built with all these number one guys. You have a number one guy here, you have a number one guy here. But rosters are built with a bunch of other guys that are above average players. Not the Chiefs won this year, and they got some good players, but those guys all weren't first round picks.
Right.
They bought in some pieces, but they developed some guys this year. Look at their linebacking crew, that defensive line. we laughed about it last time we was on this show. They're DBs, right? They went and got a guy in
Breland.
And Breland, they went and got a guy like, Sammy was a cast-off first-round pick, but the guy like Mecole Hardman. I mean, all these other guys that they're picking up, same thing with the Niners.
The Honey Badger just...
Really good front four, but the rest of those guys, Richard Sherman was a castaway, right? The guy who couldn't play anymore. They went and built pieces around it. You don't have to go and say, we need this all-star team to compete. And this is one of the things that I was excited about bringing in Mike McCarthy. And one of his hires that I really was excited about was Al Harris. I'm excited about a guy like Al Harris. I promise you, you heard it right here first on February 19th at 2:37. Those DBs will play differently. Go back and watch Al Harris Green Bay film. One of the best press corners in the league. I was in Cincinnati when he was in Green Bay. And one of the dudes that Chad Johnson, who was notorious for ripping jokers up at the line of scrimmage, one of the people he feared, Al Harris. So you don't have to worry about DBs getting their head turned around, DBs contest at the line of scrimmage. If you play under Al Harris, you're gonna learn how to do press coverage. You're gonna learn how to be there when the ball's in the air and be in position. I just think we've been scarred so much over the last 10 years with poor coaching and poor development by coaches to the players, is that we start looking around and saying we need guys who don't need to be developed. We need guys who have the name, the skill set, the talent, because we've been so scarred for 10 years of coaches who have not been able to develop guys who weren't first round or second round picks. I think we have a different coaching staff. I think we have a different coaching culture, that these guys will be able to not have to necessarily get all the name brands and develop some players into people that we look at and we go, that's a dude right there who has added a significant value to our football team.
I knew that they had a chance to win. I'm talking about KC for one reason. Their defensive coordinator. He took people that $5 million. That's how much Wilson made this year. Second leading tackle from here. Hitchens, yeah, he cost a little bit more. I understood when they said we can't keep you. But Wilson, Breland, a cast off. The way they got Honey Badger, had to play a year to reprove himself, then came in. I'm looking at this coach as the year go on, how his defense get better and better. I'm looking at it in the playoffs. As their defense play, they getting better and better. That's called development. That's called knowing your position, playing it within the scheme, allowing you to be a good enough player within the scheme. That coach did that. Spagnuolo, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right.
Spagnuolo.
That dude was the MVP, along with their quarterback of the Super Bowl. And this dude was at home. Andy Reid went and got him. He won a Super Bowl with the New York Giants, the one that came in here and got us a lot of years ago, until their first Super Bowl run. This is the same coach. So that has been my biggest question since these guys came in. Now we will see, was it the coaches or is it the players? A few guys walked by me today and they wasn't swagging by me. They were just walking like normal guys when they first got here.
The coaches or players?
The players. Do I detect that some uncertainty here? Do I detect that somebody may have to go to work and earn his keep? These coaches are not beholden to any of these guys, and that is the greatest feeling for me and other fans in the world. We got dudes with bobbleheads running around here like they the world, bro, and they did nothing. We treat them like gods, and they have not done nothing. So now we got a new coaching staff that has been known to develop players. The Al Harrises of the world played up under these guys. So they understand how to develop, how to get the best. And now where we used to talk about we got enough guys to compete at every position, oh, yeah, you're going to have to compete now. Coach McCarthy and Coach Nolan, and they don't know you. So when you walk up in there and which you can cross your legs up on the table and the coach asks you what you're doing, yeah, you got to put your feet on the ground, bro.
And there's no ties.
Yeah. You have to
None
put
of
your
these
feet on the ground.
coaches on Mike McCarthy's staff, outside of Leon Lett and Kellen Moore, there's no ties. I don't have a tie. I didn't draft you. I didn't sign you as a free agent. I have zero ties to you. So there's nothing there. I'm like, well, this is my guy. No, him. He's not. Get rid of him.
And if you're a core guy where they can't get rid of him, it's like, well, this is the package you play in.
But not even that, because what ends up happening is they'll come together and go, this guy, I know he's a core guy, he just doesn't work for what we do. And that's when you come to Steven and Mr. Jones and you say, listen, if I'm gonna get the most out of this guy doesn't fit what we do. How can we package him to go elsewhere? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like that is the thing that a lot of these players are getting ready to realize is, and every coach, every single coach, and I tell all the young guys that I interact with, I go, don't burn bridges. Because your position coach today is an OC or DC somewhere else, is an assistant head coach, and all those guys go and get guys that they're familiar with. That's going to be able to be their voice and going to be their example on the practice field to what they want to do. You're going to see a lot of guys get signed here in the offseason
that have played for
these other guys.
Somewhere is a connection.
Somewhere there's a connection. 2 years ago, I might have had him. He might have been a rookie. But this was my guy. I went and looked at him. Let's bring him in training camp. Let's bring him in the OTAs. Because that's just the nature of the beast. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's the nature of the business, that I'm going to bring guys in who I know and familiar with and I know fit exactly what I want to do. And that's going to see a lot of guys get weeded out. And hopefully the smart ones look around and go, all right, let me find out what his thing is and let me fit into it. That is all. And see, we if you are a 5th round pick and lower to free agent, we learn that so quick. Mm-hmm. What does the coach like? What he hates the most and what he loves the most. And let me get somewhere in between that. Do you not? That literally was how I came into. Sure. When I got here, I surveyed the land. Offensively, I said, what do they like?
Yeah.
They love Patrick Creighton's ability to know every position. And they love Sam Hurd on special teams. I said, I got to find a way to be those guys in one. Other than that, I don't know what else I'm going to do. I gotta find. They would love Sam Hurd. Love Patrick Creighton. He can line up the X, the Y, the Z, the this, the that. He calling stuff out. And I was like, okay, they love that. I need to be 84 and 17. How can I figure out to be? And I married the two. And he said, this is how I'm going to stick around.
The interesting thing about what you said is the guys that are on the team now that used to have ties, and some of them are around because of those ties, you said these coaches are going to go get guys that they have ties to. Mm-hmm. Now it's flipped. Now those guys are going to be the ones with, if there's a tie, right. I'm more comfortable with you because I don't really know what you can do. So now it's going to be interesting offseason because they're going to be bringing in new guys. Some of the old guys are going to be gone.
I'm going to tell you something.
Man.
Shannon, Kurt, don't miss OTAs. Don't miss OTAs. Because the funny thing about it, they'll start, okay, everybody has their starting position until OTA start. And all of a sudden you be like, oh, he's not starting this no more. Oh, he ain't on that package no more. Because as it evolves into mini camps, rookies, veteran mini camp, you're going to start seeing the preseason look. All of a sudden, like, wow. You're going to find out, I believe, and Jess, you can correct me wrong, I think these coaches here going to have a little more critical eye. And so what the media has been fed may not be what we get now because, hey, this is my guy.
Critical guy because these aren't their guys.
Yeah.
I've been brought here to do a job.
Even if they are, see, this is the feeling I get about McCarthy. Even when he was with Green Bay, he was critical.
Okay.
You know, even when he has a kind of a standoffish deal about him. When I used to watch him on TV, he kind of remind me of Jimmy a little bit. Jimmy had that kind of like, I got my eye on you, homie, and I'm not liking it. And he'll be kind of like, until you prove who you are, that's Jimmy. He would be like, he'll nod his head. Or then once you show that you was a bulldog and you can play and that you was willing to give it up for the team, hey, Nate, how you doing today? I'm like, no, it's been, he really do know my name. I'm serious. Earn the right to be a Dallas Cowboy. Not just because we drafted you or because we signed you and you had one half a good year. That don't make you a Dallas Cowboy. That gives you an opportunity to be a Dallas Cowboy. But you have to prove that every day. And that's what we lost around here.
All right, to make Kyle not a liar, before we go to break, Ray, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
I am so sorry we kept you on hold so long, man. How are you?
I'm not. I done switched what I wanted to say about 10 times because you guys get on 5 different topics that are right on the money, man. This is what it's called. This is why it's a Cowboy show. But we don't have to be a top 10 defense. We just have to be a top 10 opportunistic turnover defense. I mean, can we get some turnovers? Because I think we were ranked like 9th or 10th, and we were ranked like last in turnovers, man. So I don't know how Mike Nolan is going to translate that into turnovers. And I loved Rod Marinelli, but I guess his voice was getting old because, like Nate was saying, players, they had no swag, and it just didn't show up. When we thought Robert Quinn, opposite DeMarcus Lawrence, was going to be that difference maker, well, he was the difference maker, but nobody else seemed to come along with that. So that's my concern right there. And Jason Witten, we love him as fans. It's time already because we've seen Blake Jarwin take a 20-yard pass from Dak and gallop for another 25 yards into the end zone. And we're like, man, why can't we see more of that? So what do you guys think about the turnovers versus, because if you're, what good does it do you to be top 10 defense if you ain't getting no turnovers? And Nate, how do we get those turnovers?
Thanks for the call, Ray.
A lot of people just been talking about the lack of scheme. When you just in 1 or 2 coverages that you play religiously, people can attack that. To a certain degree, I believe that. I can attack you. I know where to hit you at. I know how to handle you. And then when everybody's not on the same page, I'm a big Lewis fan. I am a very, very big Lewis fan. But he's the slot corner. I'm convinced of that. And I don't want to put too much pressure on him with different schemes at other positions. I want him to learn that slot position. Now, his value may go down, and I don't know how this coaching staff is going to look at that. But I know if he played one position, he's a better player versus playing 2. Now, I don't know how that fit in his new scheme. But this coach here, Coach Nolan, knows very well the 3-4 and the 4-3. He loves the 3-4, but he knows it all. So in the days NFL, you have to with the hybrid nickels that everybody's playing. So we'll see, man. We'll see. A lot of people saying the schemes, people not just being able to read you and know where you're going to be at all the time can maybe help some of these guys. But I'm tending to go with Jesse. Your coaches got to help you be a better player too. They got to see who you are. Okay, some guys may not fit here. It's like, okay, this guy does not have these skills we're seeking. So you have to get through this year with a critical eye on this draft class. And I'm going to say this right away. If we got 7 picks, man, please, I don't want our first 2 picks to be offense.
That answers my first question earlier. So,
wow, man.
Let me say this before we go to break, to answer the turnover question. Yes, it's scheme, but it's a mentality.
Yes, it is.
Can you develop that?
Yes. The same way that the coaches this year develop players that didn't turn and look for the ball, that can be translated and twisted and turned to the opposite way. And just start looking at some of the teams who rank among the tops of the National Football League in interceptions and turnovers. New England. They got a dog in that secondary.
Yes, they do.
Right? They got a dog or 2 in their secondary. New Orleans. They got a dog or 2 in their secondary. Seattle. We all know they've been historically defensively. Yeah. Green Bay. They got a dog in the secondary. Same thing with Minnesota. We know what they have been.
Yes.
Baltimore, same thing. They've always Pittsburgh, right? They were down. They got Minka Fitzpatrick. Next thing you know, they're back up again. So it's all about having KC is next up, right? You got to have Tennessee. They got all pro in their secondary. They got cornerbacks in their Buffalo. Same thing. It's all about having scheme one, but you have to have players in that secondary or on that defense that are saying to themselves, I'm going to go get the – Deion went and got the football. Deion was a guy who was saying, if the ball's in the air in my vicinity, it belonged to me. Not just, I'm going to knock it. No, Deion was saying, I'm going to go score. I don't want to get an incompletion. I want to go get a touchdown for the defense.
Peterson traded from the Rams. Remember Peterson?
Mm-hmm.
He started with KC, playing big for KC. Kind of got into a little spat with the coach. Goes to the Rams. They can't fit. He can't fit. The way they want to play man is different than how he play man. He's kind of an off-the-ball type guy. Go to the Ravens and play it the way you play it. Helps strengthen that defense. That is what I'm saying. When I look at Jesse, or Jesse look at me as a coach, what do you see? Do I fit your scheme? And when I look at these corners that came out of college, and I know college is different than pros, but some of these guys were playmakers, and now they just deadbeats. How much of that is scheme, and how much is that the player just can't play? I'm hoping to find out real quick starting in OTAs. I really hope to find out.
All right, let's take our last break. When we come back, Mama Gross on the phone, hanging with the boys.
The Cowboys way, where Thanksgiving means spending the day with 100,000 of your closest family and friends to watch the game live. Where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships show us what success looks like. Where we're all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans have the power to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America.
Copyright 2019 Bank of America Corporation.
So, you're shopping, and that's when you see it. Aisle 23. Dr. Pepper stacked from top to bottom as far as the eye can see. The phrase too good to be true comes to mind, yet there it is. A rich, delicious Dr. Pepper paradise. Wait, did that can of Dr. Pepper just open itself for you? They all are. As if to say, so nice to treat you. And even though it feels weird to talk to a can, you pick one up and say, it's so nice to be treated. Dr. Pepper. So nice to treat you.
Your new apartment's big. Such a great deal.
It's okay.
Just okay? What's not to?
Right above the subway!
Well, I bet you don't even notice it after the...
That's my neighbor, Angus.
A deal that's just okay is not okay. Get a great deal with America's Best Network. Come into an AT&T store to find out how to get one of our popular smartphones for $0 down, based on GWS 1 score September 2019.
Since 1865, Stetson hats are American-made with pride right here in Texas. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Want to show your Texas and team pride too? You can. By purchasing your own Stetson, you can look just like how the flag guys do on field at every home game. Stetson hats, the official crown of all self-respecting Cowboys, and your favorite football team. Get yours today in the Stadium Pro Shop or at Stetson.com.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
We are back. I don't even know if we're supposed to still be reading this stuff or not, but Kurt,
Dude, okay.
while my mom's on the phone, read her.
Put Tommy
read her
John
ad.
on your end zone underwear that's guaranteed to never ride up. Trust me, I wear it. Mama Gross apparently wears it too now. It's like nothing you've ever worn before. Plus, it's backed by the best pair you ever wear. It's free, guaranteed. Shop exclusive Cowboys underwear at TommyJohn.com/Cowboys for 20% off your first order.
There we go.
Did Mama Gross keep her Tommy Johns on when the bees started flying in Mardi Gras?
Well, you can ask her right now, Jesse. Welcome to the show. My mother,
Sorry.
Mama
Sorry.
Gross. What's up, Mom?
I apologize.
Oh, not much. I do wear my Tommy Johns, though.
Hey.
And I kept them on during the parade.
No fun.
What about after the parade?
Well, I don't even want to talk about all that.
Okay.
So.
What do you want?
And by the way, Nate, I am holding out for my contract. That's why you hadn't heard from me.
Okay. Trying to get a new contract.
I'm holding out for the big money, okay?
You got to pay Dak first, so it's Dak, Mama Gross, Amari, defensive line.
There we go. Y'all missed a great time. Mardi Gras was a hoot. We had 250 Jell-O shots, and Patsy Cline played all day, and it was just fun. I wish you guys could have come, but I understand.
Next year, road trip.
Next year, there we go.
Road trip.
Hey, y'all can broadcast from the parking lot. That'd be perfect, wouldn't it?
No, I don't think any of us need to be on the air.
250 Jell-O shots?
Yeah.
That might not be.
Part tequila, half of them were vodka.
And Nate, one of those cinnamon roll packages is for you, but you're going to have to warm them up. Because
The whole
I have
thing?
Well, y'all can, probably.
I ain't sharing it. They can have it, or either I get it all. That's the only way I do it.
But you got to warm them up because I had to make them a little earlier than I normally do. So you're going to have to put lots of butter on them, and they'll be perfect.
All right, I'll butter down.
What did you end up the year? Do you have your picks in front of you?
Yeah, I can get it real quick. I wasn't prepared to talk football today because it's been 2 months.
So what do you think about the new coaching staff, and did you like what transpired?
I'm so excited. Jesse, I'm ready to get football horny.
Let's go. Let's go.
What y'all done to my mother?
Let's go.
This woman raised me.
Let's go.
I need to hear that word out of her mouth.
T-shirts coming soon.
That's on your way. That's how I was born. Don't need to hear that.
Be thankful.
Not shortly after the Tommy John's comment, please.
Be thankful. Be thankful. That could have ended. It could have ended. You could have ended somewhere else.
I could have, or not been here at all.
A sheet, napkin.
Oh,
my God.
Paper towel. I'm sorry. We're
I'm
sorry, Derek.
I have nothing to do with that.
Please, Derek, don't fire me.
I have nothing to do with that.
Be thankful, Shannon.
Oh, my God.
Derek, please don't fire me. It's too early in 2020 to be fired.
I'm trying to calm y'all down, okay? I'm fine.
Jesse, I said we had one job this year to keep you from getting fired from a show.
Let's not off to a good start. Let's not off to a good start. It's Black History Month. Let's hope Derek can get me.
All right, Mom.
Okay. So I wound up 46 to 32. 46 wins and 32 losses.
46 and 32. That is solid.
Pretty good.
That is
I
really
know.
good.
I'm a winner.
You are a winner.
I am. And I'm on an award-winning show.
That's right.
That's right, yeah.
What are you playing? Go ahead.
Do what?
Go ahead.
I'm excited about the new coaching. I'm excited to see something different. I'm excited to see what they're going to do and how they're going to change it up and how it's going to get better. So I am excited.
What area do you think they need to improve the most?
Do you think?
Well, we all know special teams got to improve, and turnovers we've got to improve, and we've got to get a stronger defense. I'm with Nate. You know, you can't win football games if you don't have a defense that can help you get there. So I just think that our whole team needs to get stronger and tougher. And I think that's what this coaching staff is going to require. You're going to have to be, like Nate says, a dog.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep. So anyhow, that's how I feel about it. We'll see what happens, won't we?
We will. Pretty soon. It'll be here before we know it.
And as soon as I get my contract, Nate, I'll be back on the air.
You better quit hanging with Jesse.
She gonna make more.
We might have an open seat on the show. You might be able to come do it in person.
Oh, my God.
Come on, Jesse. Now you got to stick around. I got to have the voice of reason.
Hey, I guarantee you, if Jesse's going down, it ain't gonna be for that comment.
Yeah. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. It's gonna be for your son and his love for Trump.
Him or his Tommy John comments. Neither one.
You know what's bad? You gonna get me in trouble, and I didn't even say anything.
Hey, Mama Gross, let me ask you this question here.
Okay.
Now, what would you draft, position-wise or player, if you have one, in our first pick for the Dallas Cowboys this year? Who and what would you draft?
Oh, Lord.
You got to give it some thought now.
I know.
Think
you caught me
LSU
off guard.
secondary. Think
Well, yeah,
LSU secondary.
Any
Hey,
of them.
Of course, defense. Let's go defense, and I mean that's what I'm thinking. That's where we're really, really struggling at, and I just that's what I believe now. As far as
When you say
calling them out,
defense, secondary, defensive line, safety, cornerback, linebacker.
probably secondary. I just don't think we have what we need all the way across.
Okay.
So, but you got to give me time to research that.
Man. You got to get into it. You got to because
I know I'm not as talented as y'all are, and get into the real guts until I'm ready to really look at things.
Let me say this here, ma'am, and I think these fellas will agree with me. If you watch, see, this is too simple this year. I think Will McClay has the easiest job in America because they're one and the same. Special teams and defense.
Right.
They're one and the same. They are one and the same. So it is so obvious where we were so pitiful and so weak. To you, even if you don't look at an offensive player, who cares? Okay, so we just take all offensive players and red flag them. And put every
Take them off the
board.
So, Mom, your answer was not a bad answer.
It was a great answer.
You said defense, and literally they could use any position.
Exactly, and it's hard to say where because we need those people on those players on the defense that are dogs.
Let me ask y'all this: she said defense with a broad brush. Would you be opposed, knowing kind of the situation you're in at linebacker? Would you be mad at him for taking a linebacker?
That was my question for Jess. That was my question for you.
So you want to go straight secondary? Corner or safety?
Yes.
Preferably safety?
You wouldn't take the best if the defensive line guy there is better. You wouldn't take him.
We're in a passing league. We're in a passing league.
Go get you a stud. You ain't had one in a while.
Go get you one. Go get you one that's going to be back there wreaking havoc.
When's the last time they've had one? They thought Mo was going to be that guy, right? And then they got Brandon Carr and thought he was going to be that. How long has it been?
Terrence Newman?
Early in his career.
But see, how did Brandon Carr go to the Ravens and get
do good?
intercepts?
Yeah.
It's
They
about
put him in the proper scheme.
Thank you. Come on now.
Play into your players'
Come
strengths,
on,
right?
man.
Well, how long has it been since we won a Super Bowl?
Don't start.
So that ought to tell you.
Ask Nate.
I don't know. I gotta
Nate.
go to my safety deposit box.
See what years on that ring.
Because I don't even ride with that. Miss Gross, I'm gonna tell you like this here. You cannot miss and see people think I'm crazy because I'm like, if we got 7 picks, 4 of them, the first 4 picks got to be defense. And I'm not as specific as Jesse, but I do believe this right here. One day they're going to address the middle of our defense. That is the one technique to the safety. You're going to have to address that. And everybody keeps ignoring that. And every year in big games when we need them the most, they just gash us right up the middle.
Don't show up. They do not show up.
So
You're right.
Sooner or later, we're going to find that either 6'1", 395 pounds, sloppy, greasy, Jersey Mike eating sub slamming dude.
Wing stop grubbing.
Yeah, all we're going to get the dude that's 6'5", 390 pounds, but he's going to be able to stop the run. And we're going to get a safety that's going to hit so many people so bad and bruise them up so bad so they're going to fear coming in our middle. So,
and it's Tommy Johns is going to keep him from flapping around, and he's going to be able to tear it up. So there we go.
Flapping around. Jesus. All right, Mom, we got to go. Wow. That's an end. Thanks, Mom. Love you.
Love you.
All right, bye. Kurt. Thanks for being here. Stop it. Thanks to our fine folks at the Cowboys Pro Shop for giving Big Nate a shirt that will fit him with his former teammate Darren Woodson on it.
We're about due for some Wingstop, aren't we?
I think so.
Been a while.
I need to bring that up.
What's that, Megan? Let's text Megan.
Why you got a napkin, Jess?
Is that Megan?
Why you keep holding up that napkin?
Could have
been me.
Shannon.
Jesus.
Oh, geez.
Jesse, thanks for coming back. Hey, it's good to see you. Nate, don't you touch me down. You sorry. Nate, thanks for bringing it. Kyle, thanks for keeping us on the air. Caden, thanks for not having anything to do with this show.
Katie, what's up?
Be back, I guess.
What's up, Kate?
Monday, regular time, right?
Derek, don't fire me.
What is the regular time?
Monday, 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock on Monday. Catch us then. Hanging
don't
with the
fire me, Derek.
boys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?